Hey guys, Rick Stone here from Stoney Acres Gardening. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some cool season crops that you can still be planting later in the spring like we are now here in early May. There are still some things that we can be planting and we're going to talk about those today. Now before we get started, make sure you get subscribed to my channel and go follow us over on Instagram as well. We'd love to have you join us there, and then stick around till the end of the video because I am going to be talking about our year-round gardening mini course. This is a free mini course that is available starting today. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have had as frustrating of a spring as we've had. Literally a month ago right now, on April 3rd and 4th, we had a big, huge snowstorm. And we got about 8 inches of snow between those 2 days. And that snow stuck around for another 10 days, so it was mid-April before the snow finally melted. Then the garden had to dry out, then it got cold again and we had snow flurries, and it has just been super frustrating. And then to top it all off, yesterday, today, and even Monday, we had temperatures in the high 80s. Ugh. I'm so super frustrated. I feel like I am so far behind on my cool season crops because we just haven't been able to get out in the garden and plant as much as we wanted. Now I was able to get my peas planted. I've got some potatoes in. We've got lettuce and carrots and a few things like that growing, but not nearly as much as I normally would this time of year. And so I'm super frustrated. I'm still wanting to get some of my favorite cool season crops in. So today I thought that I would talk to you about what are some of the cool season crops that we can plant later in the spring and still expect a good successful harvest, because most cool season crops don't like really warm weather, but there are a few that we can get away with, and so let's talk about those. First on the list is carrots. So carrots actually will stand up pretty well to the heat. They'll be pretty strong flavored, so pretty carroty flavor, if that makes sense, but they will grow during the summertime temperatures. And so you can still be putting in a last planting of carrots this late in the season, and they should be doing just fine. Same with beets. Beets will also do really well in the summer, and so you can plant beets now and they will do great. You shouldn't have any problems. The one big challenge that you might have is if your weather is like ours, where we're jumping between the mid 60s and then up into the 80s and then back into the 60s. That can kind of be a little bit rough on germination. And so one of the things that you can do is add some burlap over the top of your seed bed, and that will help you to get those seeds germinated. And I've got a really quick video up here that you can watch on using that process. Just click on that link and you can go learn how to use burlap to help get those seeds germinated, okay? There is one other root crop that you can be planting early in May as well and still get away with it, and that is radishes. So you do want to get those in fairly quickly because the warmer weather is going to affect the way those radishes grow. So the sooner you can get them in, the better. But radishes are pretty quick growers. They only take about 28 days to mature. So you can get one last planting of radishes in, but I would do that right away as quickly as you can get those planted, okay? Now, there are some leafy greens also that we can still be planting. A lot of our leafy greens, things like spinach and bok choy and stuff like that, don't really like the heat. But there are a few that we can continue to plant and that we can still get in later on in the season. One of those is kale. Kale is going to still do really well during the summertime. It won't bolt to seed until next year, so you don't have to worry about that. Kale will be a little bit stronger flavored during the summertime and during the heat, but you can still get some kale planted now and it will mature during the summer and will do really well. And to go along with that, you can also be planting some collards. So collards will do well in the heat. They'll stand up pretty well to the heat, and you can plant those greens as well. That would give you two options for cooked greens during the summer. Kale and collards would both be there for you to use as cooked greens. And then one other green that we can still be growing would be Swiss chard. Swiss chard is not going to really have a big problem with the heat. It will grow quicker in the heat and will eventually bolt and go to seed, but you could still be planting some Swiss chard either by transplants or by seedlings directly in your garden right now, and they are going to do great. Then we move into a class of leafy greens that I've actually talked quite a bit about here the last few videos, and that is our summer crisp lettuces. So summer crisp lettuces, they're also sometimes referred to as French crisp lettuces or Bavita. So it's Batavia, Batavia. Those are lettuces that are actually bred to stand up well to the heat. You're looking for 5 specific varieties here, okay? The variety names are Nevada, Muir, Fusion, Cherokee, and Magenta, okay? Those 5 varieties are all summer crisp lettuces, and you can plant them now and they are going to be just fine during the summer heat. They stand up to tip burn, they don't get tip burn, they don't bolt quickly, and they don't get as bitter as traditional lettuces. And so you could be planting those here early in May as the weather starts to warm as well, okay? Then last on the list, and this technically isn't a cool season crop, but it's a crop that we normally plant this time of year, and that is potatoes. So you still have plenty of time to get potatoes planted. I already have potatoes planted, but I also still have a bunch that are in my garage right now that we are chitting, getting ready to go out in the next week or two. You have a big window of when you can plant potatoes, about 4 weeks before your last frost, all the way till about 4 weeks after your last frost. So there is plenty of time for you to still get potatoes, which we traditionally plant in the cool time of year. Even though they grow in the summertime, you've still got time to get those in, okay? So there you go. There are 8 cool season or traditionally spring planted crops that we can still get planted now in early May when the weather is starting to warm up. And again, if your weather's being like ours, then it's a little bit tricky, but you can definitely get those 8 crops planted right now, okay? So get them going as quickly as you can, and you should still be in pretty good shape, okay? All right, that's all I have for you for this week. But before we go, I did want to mention that we are launching our annual year-round gardening event starting today. So year-round gardening is using concepts like hoop houses and cold frames to plant crops even in cold weather, cold winter places that have snow and stuff like that, that will allow you to go all year long. Now, why are we talking about that in May when it's, fall gardening that we're going to be doing? It's because we need to start preparing our minds and thinking about the things that we're going to be planting in the fall now. So we're starting the event now, and the first thing that we're going to be doing for this event is our free mini course. So we have a free year-round gardening mini course. It's about 45 minutes long, covers 3 main topics on how you can extend your growing season into the fall and into the winter. And that free mini course is available now. So you can click on the link down in the description of this video. That will take you over. You can sign up for it. It's 100% free, and you can sign up for that and check out these concepts. And we are starting promoting that now. The actual master course will go on sale in mid-July. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going to be happening over the next couple of months. But we're excited to start that, and so go get signed up for that mini course now. Link is down in the description of this video. Okay, that's all I have for you for this week. Make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, go follow us over on Instagram as well, and we will talk to you next week. Happy gardening.